Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. I'm revisiting Viking shields. Where you may remember my time-traveling Viking, and then we tested the polycarbonate transparent shield here, and it actually didn't fare that good. As you see, it's pretty much destroyed already, even though it had a double boss, and of course it protected me from a lot of arrows. But ThegnThrands, shield brother from the US, decided to give it a try if a traditionally made shield is not better than this one, so that in fact our time-traveling Viking would not have used this one. And he sent me a version that he made by hand, and it's awesome. And one reason why it's awesome is because he put my picture, I think he actually took this from the cell phone game, and he put this on it. But it is a great shield. It is a little smaller, and he did this so that shipping cost wouldn't completely ruin him. So it's only a 60 centimeter diameter, but it has a lot of features, and those are great. As you see, the wood grain looks a little bit like milky here, and that is because he has covered the entire shield with rawhide, actually from both sides. And that is probably exactly the way how it was done in the Viking era, simply because this stabilizes the wood in a fantastic way without really adding too much weight. And also he put the same kind of rawhide stuff on the rim, and this is, it's like hard as, I wouldn't say iron, it's like ABS plastic, but probably the properties are even better than ABS plastic. And there is a nice thick steel boss in front of this here, so I think this protects the hand really well. It's traditionally made with forged nails, so there is nothing industrial on this thing. But that doesn't mean that we won't test it without any mercy, as is the usual thing here on the Slingshot channel. So first we'll fire a 60mm lead ball against the shield and see what happens. Whoa, nice dent right on my chin. It looks kind of spectacular, but it really isn't. There's just a small little dent in this. Actually, it is of course not in any way dangerous to the bearer of the shield. Now we will test a 20mm steel ball. I'd say the same deal. Alright, next we're going to test the famous Bobcat, and that has about the same kind of energy as a medieval high-powered winch-cocked crossbow. Of course it uses air as a propellant, but that really doesn't matter. And by the way, you can get these in my store if you live in Germany or Austria. Alright, it sticks in the shield. So we can see that it actually penetrated the shield, and it comes out at the other side, and the tip then flew off, and that was this little jingling that we heard. And as you see, the rawhide does a perfect job. As you see that the wood did not splinter along the fiber direction, but it simply opened up like a composite material is supposed to do. And let me see if I can get this out. Now I can only break off the carbon arrow. Yeah. And now let's test a broadhead, because that made all the difference for the polycarbonate shield. It did fine with the normal tip, but with the broadhead it shattered. So this is a razor sharp broadhead. Of course it will be broken afterwards, since these things really are not reusable. They are usually completely damaged after just one shot. I try to aim a little bit lower to hit a fresh piece on the shield. It didn't shatter. The broadhead equipped arrow penetrated far deeper, and you can see how the three blades cut their way through the rawhide. You can also see how thick the rawhide is. See, I would say it's 1.5 millimeters, so it's really thick rawhide. And you see that the tip is almost intact, a little bent here. And I think it is penetrated deep enough to really be a danger for the shield bearer. So this might not have killed him, but it might well have injured the shield bearer. So as you see, look how much the blades suffered. Look how they look like. It's just a rawhide that did this to a hardened steel razor blade. Amazing. Now my homemade rubber valve powered and steel tipped air gun. What happened? I think I hit the boss. Alright, I hit the boss, and as you see, it created major damage. And actually it ripped the entire thing out of the wooden arms here. See, they're now completely loose. I think one of the screws broke. And also it broke the handle in the middle of the shield. Yeah, so the shield is now practically useless. Let's try the wood. I accidentally actually hit the center boss because the weapon is not sighted in. But I'll give it one more try and try to hit the wood now. And fire! I think I hit it right in the center. So that was a major impact. I mean, I think even the light bulb was blown out simply because of the, you know, really like earthquake dimension size shakes that it was getting. And as you see, it fully penetrated here. But it did not directly embed itself into the wooden beam here. And it was held back very efficiently by the shield. Of course, it also ripped out one of the steel nails here and also broke even more parts of the handle. But as you can see, the enormous pressure caused by the rawhide clamped it in. Can you see? I just had freshened, you know, just freshly polished the tip of this here. How much it suffered. I mean, this is a material that's really tough to destroy, and actually it will be quite hard to get this out again. I think I have to put oil on it or something. Okay. So the shield did not splinter, and you know what? I believe the bearer of the shield would live. I mean, he would have the shock of his life and probably his arm would really hurt like hell. But this protected him. And as you see, even though this is standard wood, it did not splinter because it was protected by the rawhide. Now the sword test. And of course we are using the super sharp cold steel Viking sword because it's just the best that I could find for these tests. And I'm going to test against the fiber direction first. And then we'll flip it 90 degrees and try to go with the fiber direction. Yeah! Wow! It hacked in, trapped the sword. Can I easily take it out? No. So this is exactly the desired function that a shield should have. It trapped the sword, but it didn't splinter. Alright, now with the fiber direction. It entered a little deeper, but other than that, same result. This shield is unbeatable. So, ThegnThrands, my head is off to you, because this is the best shield I've ever seen. It's lightweight, it is indestructible. What a word. And, you know, and I say it by all means. So, and as you see, of course, it took plenty of damage. I mean, we perforated it, we hit it with a very sharp sword. You know, the only thing is, of course, it needs a little bit of service. I mean, the handle needs to be renewed, which I could do within maybe 5 minutes or something. Other than that, it is still perfectly functional and much better than my translucent polycarbonate shield. So the time-traveling Viking would have left all that behind. And maybe he would have used my handle because it is more sturdy than this one. But all the rest, I think this is superior. Congratulations, Shield Brother Thegen. As a little bonus, I worked some more on my From Dusk Till Dawn pump-action crossbow. I added a rear stock and also a red dot sight. And this means that I can now repeat it without, without taking it off the target. And 5 shots are no problem now. So let's shoot at this dead tree. So you just cock it like that, very easy. Oh, switch it on. And then go bang, 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 and bang. 5 shots. Accurate enough for vampire killing for sure. It is a weak crossbow, otherwise I couldn't really easily cock it with one hand. But on the other hand, it might still be dangerous. So many people wanted to know what happens when I shoot at ballistic gelatin with it. So I prepared a nice little block, and we'll shoot from 10 meters distance, which is typical for some vampire indoor slaying. Okay, I might not hit every time, but let's try. Oops, das war's. 5 shots. I thought I had a 6th. I hit the gelatin block 3 out of 5 times, which is a little bit poor, but in any way. Yeah, but you can see that even though those are flying rather slow, because of their heavy weight, the impact is very serious. I think this crossbow can actually kill a vampire. I wanted to show you this thing that I bought from a Chinese provider that doesn't sponsor me, but anyway, I bought it because it's actually a toothpick crossbow that uses the same repeating mechanism that I employ in most, if not all, of my repeating crossbows. Let me show you its features. As you see, it's made from all steel, even the string is from steel, and it has this very clever lever here that's spring-loaded that presses down on the projectiles, which are normal, very thin toothpicks, and you can simply feed them in like this, and then it puts pressure on it like that. And if you want to shoot, I think you can get 6 or 7 or so in the magazine. If you want to shoot, all you have to do is you cock it like that and see how much tension is in this thing, and then you can fire. Ha! It's actually a lot of fun. If you want to fire again, you repeat the same routine again, like that. Very cool. And it costs, I think it costs like $11 or something, sometimes 14. I don't know why that is, probably because of currency exchange fluctuation. But I think it is really, really cool. Let's see if it also causes damage. You think I should do that? Well, this is the Slingshot channel, so of course, yeah, it does do damage. Ouch. Well, you can see what the difference between a human body and ballistic gelatin is, because the skin actually protects you from a lot of injuries, since it is kind of tough. And this here you can see that there is a tiny little drop of blood. It's really tiny, even though that if I shoot at ballistic gelatin, it sticks in like a ½ inch or something. That is because there's no skin on the gelatin. So I put the link to the product down below, and I don't have an affiliate program with them, so I won't be getting any money, but it's just, I think it's a fun little toy that deserves some attention. Anyway, I hope you like this, because that's it for today. Thanks and bye-bye. A preview to coming attraction, an athletic javelin. I want to build a launcher that can shoot it a lot more far than even top athletes can throw this thing. And this is it. The 2.50 meter long javelin launcher, rubber powered, of course. Stay tuned.